Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always, and welcome to this bullet of my Valentine lesson and full song breakdown. This next one we're doing in the series is Venom from the 2015 album Venom, of course. So let's get straight into it. So this song has kind of like a Tears Don't Fall vibe going on with it. It's in the same key, which is in the key of G minor. Okay, it's all based sort of off of this open fifth string that you've got going on, and it's got like I said, like the Tears Don't Fall sort of vibe to it, just from the chord progressions and stuff like that. I'd say it's definitely one of the more simple Bullet of My Valentine songs to play. It's a little bit slower, it's a little bit more laid back, but it's really fun to play. I've done the full cover of it. I'll make sure to leave a link down below or at the top here if you haven't checked that out already. So the tuning for this song is in standard Bullet of My Valentine tuning. You've got a drop C tuning, okay? So that's D standard guitar, and you're tuning the sixth string down to a C, okay? So all in all, you've got C, G, C, F, A, D, okay? And again, that's C, G, C, F, A, D, okay? Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to show you how I got the guitar tone, or rather the delay effect, right for this cover. I had a fair few of you asking, A, how'd you play that riff, and B, how did you get that tone? So I've done like a little video for you that's all on screen, with me doing a voiceover. I'm going to take you through absolutely everything so that you can get this guitar tone to work for you when you're playing along to the track. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay guys, this is how I achieved the Venom guitar tone. I'm using Bias FX2 Elite. You can go over to their store right now, and I think there's a 50% discount that's going on at the moment if you're quick, so you can save absolutely like hundreds even on this if you buy Elite. I think for the lower ones, the Pro and the standard version, there's a discount going on there, but if you want access to all the nice delays and stuff like that I've got right here, I'm using Elite, and like I said, there's discount going on, so you can save yourself some money on that front and get a shed ton of guitar tones. Everything I've ever done on my channel, besides a couple of Strymony bits here and there, has been through Bias FX2, so everything you've seen me doing, whether it's my covers, my lessons, it's all Bias effects. So this is my setup. It's nothing too fancy for this tone. I've got a super reverb amp head going into a cab. I'm not sure what match this is. This isn't the Venom tone. This is just something I literally found on Bias itself, so you can play around with this. I have uploaded this tone to the tone cloud, so if you want to go ahead and look on the tone cloud, type in Venom clean, you should get this exact tone that I've uploaded. It's got some reverb here for ambience and a bit of EQ to make it pop out a little bit more. This guitar tone isn't spot on to the guitar tone that's going on Venom itself. Where the trick is it's all in the delay, this guy right here, okay? As far as the clean tone works, it's just a standard clean tone. As long as you've got a good clean tone, this is going to work 9 times out of 10, from my experience anyway. And this is kind of like the best amp that I found sat well with the track itself. But what you're looking for is that sort of that ping pong U2 edge sort of delay that's going on. So there's a trick to achieving this, and I'm going to show you how that works right now. The delay that I've gone for right here is this one. It's called a dotted eighth, I believe, or dotted. Let's have a quick look over on delay. Edge dot delay. That's the one I'm using right there. Okay, and when you add that in, it looks something like this. And the key here is to make sure that you're in sync at the top, okay? The first thing you're going to want to do is figure out how fast this song actually is, because these delays need to be in time with the track itself. Now, what I did is I went online and I just found like a tap tempo thing that I just kept hitting my space bar to on the intro drums to the track Venom, right? And I worked it out to being at around 146 to 147 BPM, okay? I did my cover at 146, and that got me close enough. So without the delay, here's what it sounds like. Okay? With the delay, big difference, right? So the key here is you want to make sure that you're in sync, right? Okay. You want to be where it says dot here, because this is a dotted delay, okay? And you want to be set to 8ths, okay? Right there, 8D, and the D stands for dotted, I believe, okay? And that's what's going to give you that ping pong kind of digga 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 sound going on, okay? The way I'm getting it to sync up with the track when I've recorded it is down the bottom here. I've got my session in Cubase set to 146 BPM, okay? And then what I've done is I've locked it up the top to 146. So now my delay is perfectly in time and is repeating at 146 beats per minute, okay? And that's how it works, and that's how you're going to be in sync with the track itself, okay? And just to show you that you don't have to use this specific delay here, I'll do another example of one, so more of like a typical delay. So this deluxe delay right here, if I set this, make sure that you've got it clicked on to BPM. If I set that to dotted eighths again, we've got the same thing going on. So it can work for any delay, provided that you've got this dotted eighths setting right here and you're perfectly in sync up the top here. Make sure that you lock that in, okay? Make sure that you hit the little switch down here that says, you know, click to BPM, so you're not just sort of freestyling it, if you like. And then adjust just your settings, like your feedback, the level of it, and how much of it is in your mix. Adjust that to preference. But that's literally all there is to it. Like I said, I was using this one specifically for my cover, okay? And these are the settings that I was using. Another thing as well that I'd say to you is you're going to want to play in time with the track itself. So for instance, if you were just wanting to play with this tone and have fun with it, if you play too fast, it's not going to sound right, because we are set to 146 BPM. So if I run through this really quickly now, it just doesn't work. You get a completely different kind of delay sound, okay? If I play it too slow, again, it's not quite right. You need to be playing at 146 BPM. So either play to the track or put a click on, put your metronome on, and play along to it. And that's literally all there is to it. So like I said, I have uploaded this to the Tone Cloud. So if you go over to the Tone Cloud and type in Bullet My Valentine / Venom delay tone, you're going to get exactly what it is. And you can download that there and play with it to your heart's content. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. That's how you get that tone, and that's how you get your delay effect to sync up with the track, okay? So moving on into the song now, we're going to start off with the intro and the first verse, and it's literally just that same riff that's going to be repeated, which is the clean riff, okay? The song starts with, I think Moose was still in the band at this point. It starts off with Moose's drumming. He does like a measure of his drums, and then the confusing rhythm guitar comes in, the clean guitar with the delay. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you exactly how it goes without any delay on it. Okay, that's how you're going to get the most out of this. Then what I'd encourage you to do is put the delay on after, once you've figured out how the actual riff goes, okay? If you want to see it played up to speed, like I said, just go check my cover out. So this riff is repeated 3 times, and how it works is you've got the intro and then the verse section where it's played 2 times, if that makes sense. So you've got 1 run of it for an intro, no vocals, and then 2 runs of it repeated for the verse section where Matt starts singing. So 3 times all in all. And the riff goes something like this. This is without any effect. I think I've got some reverb on, okay, just to fill it out a little bit, but no delay whatsoever, okay? And this is what it sounds like without. Okay, so that's the riff. So let's slow that down, okay? So it's basically kind of like a cries in vain or a suffocating under words of sorrow thing going on with this one, or a tears don't fall in a way. Um, it's all pedaling off of the fifth string, okay, and that's your G at this point, okay. And what you're doing is it's like a pedal tone riff, so it's a lot like that. They're sort of their pedal tone sort of riffs that they do. It's very similar. The whole thing is palm muted, okay. So you're going to want to rest your palm, the meat of it right here, across the bridge. There's the strings just coming off the bridge. You really want the notes to pop out, so don't come too far forward. Otherwise, you're going to kill those notes right off, okay? Come nice and far back onto the bridge itself and make sure you get a nice sort of chunky palm mute, okay? So what we've got is this. And I'm doing that all with a down pick, okay? And that's what's keeping me in the rhythm of it. So I've got 9 to 10, back to 9, down to 7, and then 5, 7. Okay, and again. Okay, so that's twice you play that run of it. So like I said, you've got the 9 to the 10, back to the 9, down to 7, and then 5, 7. And making sure you're getting those mutes in between on the open fifth string, okay? That's what's keeping the momentum going. If you miss a note with this, it's going to show because of the delay. Yeah, so make sure that you're really accurate with this one. Then what happens is you're going to bar across, okay? A little bit like in Tears Don't Fall Part 2, if you've ever learned that intro. It's quite similar the way it moves. You're going to bar across 3rd fret with your first finger, okay, right the way across, okay? And your pedal tone is going to be this 6th string on the 3rd fret now, okay? And you're going to go... Okay? So what that is... Okay, those are your frets. So while my first finger's across, I've got 5, 7 on the 4th string. Then I'm coming down to the 3rd string, and I'm doing 5, 4. And then I'm going 5, 7 on the 4th string. Okay, so I've got... Okay, and I'm finishing on that 3 there. On the 6th string, okay? That's my pedal tone, okay? So I've got... And again. With the pedal point. And then all muted. Okay, so far you've got this. Okay, so that's the riff so far. Then to finish up, come forward to 5th fret with your first finger, barring across, same idea again, okay? And you're gonna go... Okay, what that is... Okay, so what you've got there is you've got 7, 9 on the 4th string. Then, on the 3rd string, you're going to go 7, 5, then, with your pinky, go up to 9, then 7, okay? So you've got... Okay? And take breaks in between when you're doing this. With your bar and across, you're going to start to feel yourself cramp up a little bit, maybe, if you're spending a lot of time doing this. and slowing it down and stuff. So be sure to just take your hand off the neck and shake it out a little bit and go back to it. Don't cramp up. If it hurts, stop and come back to it, okay? So all in all, that part is... okay? And I'm sticking that 5th fret right there on the end on my pedal point, okay? And that takes me back round into starting it over again, okay? So the riff, slow, no delay, would be this. Okay, and again. Okay, and that's your intro riff and all your verse riffs, okay? And that is going to get repeated 3 times now, okay? And where it stops is literally on that last run of it on the 5th fret right there, okay? So what I'll do for you now is I'll play it through the 3 times, but I'll throw the delay on now so you can actually hear what it would sound like as a whole on the track. Okay, and there's the riff. That last run of it there, I'm not too sure if he stops on the 5, because it would be very quiet to hear anyway, you know, because it's muted, right? And you're building into the chorus then when the heavy guitar comes in. Or he stops right here, which is the last note on the 3rd string that you'd be hitting. And I'm actually going to go with that he's finishing it there, okay? See what you think is best, yeah? See where it takes your hands, okay? It doesn't matter if just for the sake of one note. But what I would say to you is at least make sure that you've got that last note there on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, okay? So that last run of it would be... and then it stops right there. That's what I'm going to go with. If you want to throw that extra mute on the end there for closure, it's entirely up to you, but I'm going to say it stops right there. So that is verse number 1, okay? There is another guitar that comes over in the latter part, in the last run of that riff, which is a clean guitar, okay? And it's adding some spooky atmosphere, so we're going to go over that now. So that clean riff runs through 3 times, okay? So you've got an intro and then 2 parts for the verse, okay, where Matt's singing. And then over the top of the last run of it, so the 3rd time, there's this ambient, spooky, clean guitar that comes over it. And Matt actually plays these parts live, so I'm going to show you what these chords are, okay? It goes something like this. Okay, and that's just an ambient, you know, loaded with reverb sort of guitar tone to I've got to achieve that. Not as busy with the crazy delay with the main verse guitar. Okay, so how does this go? What he's doing, and I saw him on the live videos doing this, is it's kind of like a bar chord in a way. What you're doing is like a 5th chord shape right here. You've got 12 on the 5th string, and then you've got your 3rd finger on 14th fret of the 4th string, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to skip a string and you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd string, 13th fret, okay? And you get this. which is like a little G minor thing. Okay? Let that hang. Then what he does is he takes it down to 8th and 10th, okay? But you're going to ditch your middle finger now. And the reason why I say it was a bar chord is he's going to catch this note on the 8th fret, 2nd string, okay? He's going to catch that with his first finger that he's barring across. So get your first finger nice and flat, okay? Keep your thumb on the back of the neck, okay? Still the power chord shape on top, okay? But it's this note on the 2nd string that you're going to want to be catching this time, which is on the 8th fret, okay? And you've got... Okay? Very pretty. Now you could do it like this. Okay? But the way he's doing it live is this. So whatever's easiest for you. I prefer the sound of what he's doing, okay? But if you want to do it this way, you're just going to have the same power chord shape. So you got 8 and 10, okay? So 5th string, 4th string. And then your pinky would go on the 12th fret, 3rd string, and you've got... which is that suspended chord kind of sound that we all really like, right? But the way Matt's doing it is with his first finger barred. And that note right there seems to ping a lot more than this one here, and that's why I prefer it, okay? So far you've got... And then at the end of that, which leads us into the chorus, is this. Okay? And that is just on the first string. You've got 8, 7, and then with your middle finger, you're going to go 8th fret on the 2nd string, okay? So it's... Okay? Nice, simple stuff, but really effective, especially with all the reverb and stuff. So all in all, that would be this. So last verse, you've got this. That now takes us nicely into chorus number 1, okay, which is a really nice simple thing with the heavy guitars, and they're just literally hangs these chords, okay. You can see it on the live performance at Brixton, and then other little ones as well. You can actually hear it on the track. He's not actually going for it with these chords. He's just hanging on them, so it's really nice and easy, and you'll see me doing the same thing on my cover, okay. So for the chorus, you'd think that the chorus comes around 2 times because of the vocal line, but I'm going to say it's one run of the chorus because the guitars aren't the same twice over, if that makes sense. I'll show you exactly what I mean, okay? So on the heavy tone now, okay, I'm on my bridge pickup for a classic sort of metal tone, okay? And the chorus leads in like this. You're going to dampen the strings, okay? And you're going to do some of those. Chugga chugga. Okay, chugga chuggas, whatever you want to call them, right? And that leads in over the top of the clean guitar. You'll hear it. Just sit with the track as always when you're going through this lesson and have it sat with you and refer to it as you're going along with this, okay? And he literally just damps the strings and he goes down, up, okay? I'm doing that as I'm just chugging off the strings. My hand's nice and flat, okay? I'm not playing over a harmonically rich area. Like 5, 7, and 12. Yeah, I'm playing it where the strings are quite dead. Okay, so for me, that's kind of down the bottom of the neck, because what I'm not looking for is this. Don't want that, I want this. Okay, percussive, yeah? Okay, and I'm just taking my pick and I'm just going across the strings. You don't have to go across all of them. Maybe like the bottom 4 or something. Okay, that's going to give you that kind of sound, okay? Then what happens is this is guitars left and right the way through this, okay? Your main rhythm guitars, you've got this. And then kill it right there, okay? Nice and easy. Like I said, it's the typical sort of like Tears Don't Fall formula as far as the chords are going, right? So what's happening is you've got an A chord shape right here. Okay, you could do it up here, up at the 7th fret. It's entirely up to you if you want to go for that one string kind of feel. This is kind of like an Exochrist thing that he does in Axe Wound. Okay, so you've got. Don't get confused there though, because that does sound just like Exochrist, but they are tuned way lower. Drop A, in fact. But anyways, so you've got the A chord there, the rock and roll chord. Then you're going to take your first finger. You're going to do a 3rd fret on the 6th string, okay? A 6th and 5th. Then you're going to come up and you're going to do 5th fret. Okay, so it's. And like I said, these are hangs, just hang on them, nice and easy, yeah? Then what happens on the second time through on those chords is he goes. Okay, so he swaps out the 3rd fret now for this C position power chord right here, okay? So you got your first finger 3rd fret and your pinky over on 5th fret, 4th string, okay? So you've got. Then to bridge the gap, you're going to do those chugga-chuggas in the middle, okay? Then what happens, the reason why I'm saying this isn't the chorus repeated is because the chords stay the same now. You don't go to that C position, you're just going to repeat the first section 2 times, okay? So that could be like your second run of the chorus vocally, I guess, but I'm going to treat this all as one run of the chorus, okay? So you've got the first chorus, which is played through once. You've got the second chorus, which is played through once. The last chorus to the outro, it's repeated twice, okay? And there's a little bit of a variation in there as well, which we'll get to when we get onto that. So this is just one run of it. That's how I'm treating it, purely because the chords don't repeat in the second run through, okay? So all in all, the chorus would be this. And then kill it right there as he says, of your Venom, okay? And that takes you through into verse 2. There is a lead guitar that happens over this chorus. I'm going to take you through that now, okay? So the lead guitar, which is what Padge takes care of in a live situation, goes something like this. And then it ends right there. What that is that's a drone note technique, okay? And what does it mean? What is a drone note? Drone note is when you've got a note that's continuously ringing out of notes that are moving, okay? Think of it like a sitar. You go into like an Indian restaurant or something like that, and there's like that sort of music playing, and you can hear the sitar. The first thing that you hear is that zzz sound of the sitar, right? And it's a continuous note that's happening as a datum line almost, or underneath notes that are moving, okay? And that's what kind of gives this that kind of really sort of grinding sort of sound. I've seen people playing it with octaves. You could do if you wanted, but that would be wrong. I'm sorry. If you watch Padge playing it live, this is exactly what he's doing, and you can hear that high first string ringing out over the top of all his movements. So this is how it goes. It's all based on the first and the second string, okay? And you're going to start off at 5th fret, okay, on the second string, and right the way through this, your first string is going to be ringing out. So keep whatever your finger you're using for this whole thing arched, okay? So you're not killing off that note underneath, yeah? You want that to ring out the first string, okay? And it starts off over at 5th fret, okay? And you're going to go. Okay, so he's going down to 1st fret. Okay, and I'm keeping that with a down up pick. After that, so after you've gone down to your first fret and you come back up, you're going to do 6 to 3, okay? And again, slowly. And then finish that off by going first fret and then opens. Okay, so that's... Okay, and that is your lead part. What's happening after that is you're just repeating that, okay? So all in all, you've got this. God, that is mournful, isn't it? Yeah, it is miserable, okay? But I don't think both my Valentine really write happy music, so there you go. That's the miserable lead line, okay? And where it ends, it's repeated 4 times, and where it ends is on that 3rd fret right there, okay? So you've got... And let that hang, and that's where you're saying at that point, of your Venom, okay? So that is literally your lead guitar part. It's run through 4 times, and just on the last part, finish up on 3rd fret right there. So it would be, the last part would be this. Okay, so all together, the lead part. And that's your lead part for the chorus. Make sure you're happy with that chorus, because chorus number 2 is exactly the same, okay? Chorus number 3, the last one, and the outro, rhythmically, it's a little bit different, but the lead guitar stays exactly the same. Because that chorus is going through twice on the last one, you're just going to repeat that whole thing, yeah, 8 times. But you're not going to stop at 3rd at the end of the first run of it. You're just going to keep going. But we'll talk a little bit about that later on when we get to it, okay? Now what's going to happen is we're going to move into verse number 2, okay? And that's going back to our clean riff. Again, the main sort of delay riff that we learned earlier. And that's played through 2 times, okay? But we're going to stop on 3rd fret of the 6th string, okay, on the 2nd run of it. And I'll show you precisely what I mean by that. What happens is some chord jabs come in and the song sort of goes da-da, da-da, while Matt screams about hating you, okay? Twice. So what happens is this. And that's where it stops. Okay, and that's where the hate you part comes in, right? Okay, played that without any delay on it, just so that you can hear exactly where I stopped, okay, which was on that 3rd fret, okay? So that 2nd verse is the riff played whole, okay, through once, and then you play it again and you stop right there. So it's kind of like 1.5 in a way, if you want to think of it that way. So that last run of it is... Okay, and that's where it da-da, da-da, stops right there. So that is your first section in terms of clean guitar, okay? Really easy, just slap the delay on it and play exactly what I played right there. The second part of that verse, the clean guitar, does exactly what it did earlier, okay? The spooky ambient clean guitar that we learned earlier, which was these little picked chords. okay? You'll hear those. If you watch the Brixton concert, you'll see Matt doing it, okay? And they come in exactly where they did earlier in the first verse, okay? Or just on the last run of it, okay? And that part, that happens as it would over the jabs. The hate you part, okay? So what I'll do for you now is I guess I'll play verse number 2 with the delay on it, just so you can hear what it would sound like. And that's where it stops right there. And that's where the heavy guitars come in. And we move on into chorus number 2. Okay? So chorus number 2, we're going to lead in from the verse here. Okay? Where the clean guitar stops. And you've got Matt screaming, hate you, hate you. Okay? And you've got this. Okay? Which is just 2 jabs, or 2 sets of 2. Okay? And that's going to be on the 5th fret. Okay? 6th string. Okay? And that's a power chord. So 6th and 5th string together. Just lay your first finger flat, and you've got... Okay, so clean guitar stops, and then you're going to play chorus number 2 exactly the same, okay, as chorus number 1. Lead in with these guys, the chugga chuggers, and then your chords are exactly the same. Okay, and that's that. What happens after that is the bridge section, okay? So at the end of that, leading into that bridge, if we do this as kind of like the chorus ending, just stick another one of your damps on the end, okay? And that takes you into the bridge section, okay? So that's your rhythm guitar for the chorus. The lead guitar is exactly the same with the drone notes. Play that exactly the same as you did in chorus number 1, okay? So it's pretty much the same thing. Just at the end of it, you're going to build into the bridge and stick a with your rhythm guitars there. And just to clarify, that is rhythm guitars left and right, the big rhythm guitars right there. They're just doing exactly the same thing. And like I said earlier, they're chord hangs. If you listen to the track, he's not going for it, and if you watch the performance, he's not going for it either, okay? It's a laid-back kind of feel to it, so just hang on him. As tempting as it is to rag on him, you can do that if you want, but if you want him to stay true to the track, they are just chord hangs, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into the bridge section. We're going to look at the rhythm guitars first, and then I'll show you what's going on, or what I worked out for the lead. Okay, so what's going on in the bridge section? It's a mixture between strums and hangs again. Okay, so I'll play it through for you and then I'll break it down. Okay, and that is your rhythm guitar for the bridge section. Okay, so I've broke it down to like 4 sections, if you like. This is very reminiscent of Tears Don't Fall in a way. Okay, so what we've got is we're going to be going off of the 3rd fret. These are all just power chords on the 6th and 5th string. Okay, we've got 3rd fret to start with, and you're going to strum that with a nice down up. Okay, just follow my strumming. Then he comes up to 7th fret and he hangs on that. You could go back to the A shape right here, okay? That one is entirely up to you. It does not make a difference. I'm shaking it up here because I like the way this riff feels all on one string. It's entirely up to you and your preference how you want to do this. Okay, so the first run of it, he's got 3 strums and then he hangs on 7. Okay. Then what happens is he goes back to 3 for strums. And then he comes to 5 and he hangs. Then what happens when he hits the 5, the drums build up and the song sort of stops, okay? And the way it stops is you're going to lock in with Moose's drums right there. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kill it, okay? So that's 4 palm mutes on 5th fret, okay? With the down pick. And then it stops right there, okay? So that section is... and then cut it right there, okay? Then what happens is, this is really Tears Don't Fall-y, in my opinion anyway, is you're going to do 3, up to 5, up to 7, okay? So that's the 3rd sort of section, so... okay, and then on the last run of it, so the 4th section, you've got 3 to your 5. 3's a strummed, 5 is a hang. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 8 palm mutes, okay? And then what he does is I think he hangs on our either the 7th fret here or our A chord right here. Up to you which one, okay? So all together, nice and slow. Okay, so that's your bridge section as far as rhythm guitar goes. Just make sure you hang right there at the end with either one of those. They're the same notes, okay? You've got your A chord shape right here, your AC/DC rock and roll kind of thing, or you've got your 7th fret here. Entirely up to you, okay? And just make sure on that second sort of section there, you do your 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop with the drums right there, and then go back in for sort of the 3rd and the 4th run of it. Okay, so that is your bridge section rhythmically. Now the lead part is actually orchestra, okay, or programmed orchestra, okay, or synth, or whatever you want to call it. You'll hear it on the backing track. If you go watch the Brixton concert, you'll hear it comes over. Padge doesn't play anything there in terms of lead. Padge just plays the rhythm parts alongside Matt, okay? However, I think there is a guitar in there doing something, and it's following exactly what the orchestra is doing, okay? And it sounds like octave chords to me, which is the sort of the go-to for this sort of song, I guess. It sounds like octaves. This is what I've got worked out. The way I got it to pop a bit more is I kind of put I think I put a univibe pedal on it just to get that wah 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 sort of sound going on with it, to make it pop out a little bit more. And I don't know, kind of like, you know what they've got going on in Snuff with that thing they've got going on in Snuff by Slipknot. I wanted that sort of a thing, and that's got like loads of, they call it a univibe pedal. It's got sort of like a massive like sort of vibrato setting on it, makes it sound really sort of liquidy. So that's what I did on my cover. So this is what I've worked out. Whether it's in there or not, I can't quite tell. I'm pretty sure it is a guitar that's doing it, and I'm pretty sure if it is a guitar, it's octaves, okay? Like I said, in a live situation, Padge just follows suit with the rhythm guitar, okay? And this is all orchestra that's over it, or, you know, samples or programmed synth, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So what I've worked out into is 4 sections, okay? Just like with the rhythm guitar, okay? So it's like sort of like 4 parts, and it goes something like this. Okay, and if you play that, that completely locks in with it. That it just sits perfectly over the top of it. You'll see it me doing it on my cover. It fits perfectly. And yeah, the octaves they're quite whiny, so they fit over it perfectly. So this is my take on it. It might be single notes, but like I said, just so you've got something to play, and I don't know, 95% certain that this is in there on the track. Here it is, okay? So the first section you've got, okay, you've got an octave chord on the 5th and on the 3rd string, okay? Keep your fingers nice and flat. We've talked about octave chords in my other lessons, okay? Fingers are nice and flat, killing off any strings that we don't want. We only want these 2 notes, okay? Which is 10th fret on the 5th string and 12th fret on the 3rd string, okay? So you've got, okay, not... Yeah, I'm killing the notes off. And follow my strumming with this. I'm going 10, 14 and 16, okay? Then 15 and 17, okay? 15, 17. So I'm going... Okay, and that's times 2, okay? So do that twice. Then what happens is he goes down to 12 and 14. And then he finishes it by coming forward onto 14 and 16. Okay, so that whole run would be... Okay, so that's the first run of it. The next run of it starts off exactly the same way. You've got 2 runs of this 10, 14, 15, okay? So you've got... When you get to that point, you're going to go up now to 19 and 17. So first finger, 17, pinky or 3rd finger, whichever one you're using, on 19. Then you're going to have... and cut it right there. You've got your 19, then you're going back to your 17 and your 15, or 15 and 17, whichever way you want to look at it. That, do 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. That ties in perfectly with the rhythm guitars that are doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 cut, okay, underneath, okay? So that would be... Okay, that's where the song stops dead. Okay, so that's the first and the second section. So altogether you'd have this. Okay, then for section 3 and 4, section 3 looks like this. You're going to start off exactly the same way, 2 runs of the first part. Then come back down where you started, which is your 10 and 12, and then up to 14 and 16. Okay, so section 3 is this. And then the final section, you're going to start off exactly the same way with your 10, 14 and 15, twice over. Up to 17 and 19. Then you're going to have 15, 17. Then you're going to have 14 and 16. And then you're going to hang on 12 and 14. So that last section altogether would be... No pick slide. I just threw that in because of the sake of. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Don't let that throw you off. There's no pick slide. Okay, he just hangs there for the duration. Okay, so I'm gonna play the whole thing for you now, nice and slow. Just follow my strumming and follow my lead. Okay, and that's your lead section for the bridge. Okay, just make sure you hang on that last part. That moves us into, I guess, the post bridge section, what we can call it, which is going to be the lead into the last chorus, the final chorus. Okay, so let's have a look at that now. So this post bridge section, as we're going to call it, it's going to be 3 runs of the first part of the main riff. I'm going to play it without delay, okay, and then I'll play it with delay for you. So it's going to be. Okay, and that's literally it. You just repeat that 3 times, and where you're going to end it is on the 7th fret, 4th string, okay? So it's going to go. And stop it right there, okay? But that's obviously muted. I accented it just so you could hear where it is, but make sure you keep it all muted, okay? So if I play that section now with the delay, just so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, and that's literally it, and then that takes us through into the final chorus and the outro. Okay. There is one last spooky lead guitar line that goes in there, which is the ambient guitar that comes in. You're not going to play the first couple of chords, however, you are going to play the last part. And that's where the chord jabs come in again with the, which is the hate you part, okay? And that's not going, there's going to be none of these that were going on in the earlier verses. You're just going to literally do the 8-7-8 thing that we were doing earlier, which led you straight into the chorus. So that was the. Okay, so just 8, 7, 8 on the second string to finish. So first string, and then second string. Okay. So that happens under the jabs that happen just before going into chorus number 3, okay? So that sort of post-bridge section, you've got the main verse guitar that's just repeating the first part of it 3 times over and stopping at that point that I showed you. And then right at the end of it, you've got the da-da-da, and then that is literally that section. No other parts in there. So chorus number 3 now, okay? It leads in the same way as earlier on verse number 2 where the jabs come in. Okay, and that's your hate you part, okay? So it leads in with 5th fret, okay? 2 sets of 2. Okay, then you've got your chugga-chuggers, your damps, and you're going to play the chorus through once like you did earlier. Precisely the same, okay? The rhythm guitar is going to do the same thing, okay? And the lead guitar with the drone notes, that's going to do exactly what it was doing earlier, okay? But what's going to happen is the second run of the chorus, things vamp up a bit, and you need to bridge your way in there with some palm muting. Okay, so we'll take care of that when that comes to it. And also what happens on the second run of it, he vamps it up again and he starts strumming the chords, okay, which makes for a bigger impact. You'll see it on the Brixton DVD. The first half of this chorus, he's just literally just strumming those chords and letting them hang. And then when it comes around again, yeah, that's when he starts drumming the hell out of it, okay? So I'm going to play it through in its entirety for you now, okay? And then we'll break it down and have a look at what's going on. So coming in from that little post-bridge section, you've got the jabs. Okay, and that's your last two choruses, okay? So you'll see at the end of the first run of it, I started throwing these palm mutes in, and what they are is there are 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 slide. Okay, that's what I heard on the rhythm tracks. Okay, left and right guitars. Okay, nothing fancy. They're both doing the same thing. Okay, so at the end of that first chorus, when you come up to 5th fret, you're gonna go 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 slide, and I do that all with a down pick. Okay, so all in all. Then what happens is you've got the second run of the chorus now, okay, and that takes us through to the end, and that is all strum. Just keep it down, up, nice and simple, and make sure you put your chugga chuggers in the middle. Just follow me now, it's exactly the same chords. And on that last chord there, he literally just hangs on it, okay? So that is your final chorus rhythmically, okay? So just watch out for those palm mutes in the middle that bridge it and slide down. And yeah, you'll be good to go on that one. Nothing too difficult there, nice and simple. The lead guitar part that's happening over there is exactly the same, okay? Just make sure on the last run of the first one, you don't just hang on the 3 like you've been doing on all the other ones. Just keep it going and keep it going into the second run of the chorus, okay? So it would be like this. So all 4 of them there were consistent. I just repeated the same thing 4 times. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to play it again for exactly as you did for all the other choruses and finish it the same way with the hang on the 3 at the end. Okay? So the last run of it will be... Okay, and that's literally all there is to that. So just keep it consistent for 7 times, and on the last one, the 8th run of it, that's where you do your... of your Venom, and that's it. So that's your lead section for the final chorus. Really easy, just use your ear on that one, just play those parts. You know, I don't think you even need to just slow this track down to play along with it, if I'm honest. It's really simple. Lastly, before we do the outro part, there's a couple of little clean guitar parts that happen in that last run of the chorus. And I'm going to show those to you now just to be thorough. So you'll hear where these come in. These are just basically very similar to what's going on in the verse section. They're the 8/7 thing that was going on, okay? But they're a little bit different, okay? And these all happen on that second run of the chorus, the last run of the chorus, okay? Use your ear, you will hear it where it comes in, okay? I'm going to play it for you. So the first one goes... which is really nice, actually. Okay, so you've got this... So what he's doing there is he's letting the reverb do the work to take care of the notes just ringing out, okay? And he's going 8, 7, and then walking it down like stairs now. 8 on the second string, and then 9 on the third string. So he's going... Then he repeats it. Then on the third run of it, he goes... Okay, and that is 8, 7, 8, and then 10. And I use my pinky there on the second string. Like I said, this is on the track itself. This is nothing they do live. I think this is played on a backing track live. But in case you ever wanted to know what it is, this is what it is. Okay, so the last run of it, so the fourth time, it's going to be exactly what the first two ones were. Okay, you've got the 8, 7, 8, 9, like stairs. Okay, so all in all, that section, use your ear for where this sits. Okay, you'll hear it come in. So the last run of the chorus. And that's what's happening. That's that little part that's just adding some atmosphere on the last chorus. Okay, let's have a look at the outro, and then we're done. So the outro is just going to be your clean delay guitars, and it's going to repeat through twice, and then it just ends on the 7th fret right here. I'll play it with no delay, and then I'll play it with delay for you. So you've got. Now I accented there, but that is par muted, but just to prove the point where that ends, it's the 7th fret right there, okay? So play it once through whole, and then just do half, if you like. Okay, and that's your outro guitar. That's the only guitar that sits there, okay? And now I'll play it with the delay for you. Okay, and one more time. Okay, so that's all your guitar parts for the song Venom. I hope that's been easy to follow. I hope like the titles at the bottom of the screen, I don't know where they'll be. Are they here or are they here? I think they're here. I hope the titles help in terms of tracking where you are, and the timestamps with the chapters down below. I hope that helps as well if like you coming back to it, just to keep you on track of where you're up to. So yeah, I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you've got any questions, just come and hit me up on Instagram, or leave a nice comment down below. Just let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, and subscribe if you're new. All the generic stuff that you have to say at the end of these videos. And yeah, I'm on Instagram, so come follow me on there for updates. Link to my one-on-one lessons is down below as well. And yeah, thank you all so much for your support. Thank you to everybody who's recently subscribed. Huge welcome to everybody who's new. And until the next video, keep well, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, take care.